Alright, what's up YouTube? This is BoxingWave. I want to do a video on Joe Joyce. I haven't done one on him yet. I figured this is a good time to do it since he just beat Stavern over the past weekend. Joe Joyce, I've been following him. You know, I've seen some of his earlier fights too before his professional career. You know, he's not a guy I personally like to watch. Alright, it's not easy on the eye for me for the obvious reasons. Doesn't have the greatest technique. Doesn't have any defense at all. Hand speed, he lacks. He's very slow. All right. But what he does is very effective. Just because I don't personally enjoy watching his fights, I don't like his style, but he gets the job done, and that's all that really matters. There's fighters out there that, I felt the same way about Wilder, especially earlier on in his career. I didn't like the windmills. I still don't. His technique always had issues with his balance, his techniques, his footwork. There's things that Wilder do that comes off a bit sloppy, all right? But he started fighting better fighters. When he fought Stavern, after that, I had more respect for him because he started fighting some of the better fighters before, and I'm speaking before 2018, because of 2018, of course, he beat Ortiz. He had a fight with Fury. But some of the guys that Wilder started to fight after like his 32nd or 33rd win or whatever that was, he started stepping it up a little bit, okay? He wasn't fighting the absolute elite, but they were solid fighters, the Spilkas of the world. Who else did he fought? He fought Chris Arreola, even though he's on a later end of his career. I also can think of guys like Sam Solomon. Sam Solomon is a guy I hated the way he fights, but it was effective at one point when he was a middleweight, or he's still a middleweight, but when he was fighting at a championship level. I didn't enjoy watching him fight, but his awkward style was effective, okay? And the middleweight division was a weaker time for that division at that time, yes. But still was very effective, all right? That's how I feel about Joe Joyce, He's just like the Terminator. He's just walking you down. He's throwing a bunch of punches. He has some of the best, if not the best, stamina I've seen in the heavyweight division. I mean, this guy is coming forward, straightforward, straight line, throwing a huge variety of punches. He's throwing jabs. He's throwing hooks. He's throwing uppercuts. He's just throwing. Whether they're landed or not, he's just going to smother you. That's the way he fights, all right? He's a big man with a lot of power, and his volume is extremely high, and it works. It's very effective, all right? So that's my personal feelings on him, all right? The Stavern fight. Okay, Stavern, first of all, he's done. He's done. He was done when Wilder fought him in a rematch. I don't even understand why that occurred in the first place, but we're off that already. Stavern, he's weighing 273. All right. When he fought Wilder, he was 239. Okay. When he fought Arreola in that rematch, he was 239. Berman Stavern, at 40 years old, should not be coming in a fight weighing 273. There's no way. You look like crap in a way. All right. Nobody's taking you seriously at that point. If you're not preparing, you're not trying to cut down, especially when you're at this age. If you're at this age, still fighting, you have to at least be in the best shape that you could be at that specific age. You're already older. All right. You already have the disadvantage in age. So you have to be prepared. You got to cut down. Don't look like you're just coming in for a check, because that's what it looks like. And that's what it was. He doesn't have the conditioning to fight a guy like Joe Joyce, But it's funny because I'm watching a fight and I'm watching the first round, and Stavern is doing, Stavern has always been a puncher that has good counter punching ability. He's not really mobile, he moves slow with his feet, but he's always been good at timing, And going into that Wilder fight, I mean, we can all say what we want about him, but going into that Wilder fight, I remember I was doing videos back then. And going into that Wilder fight, there was a lot of unknowns there. A lot of people, I remember the YouTube community, it was like 50-50. A lot of people thought Severn was going to win that fight. And it wasn't a bad fight. Severn had his moments in that fight. All right? And he did what he did with Chris Arioli. Chris Arioli when he was a little better. But I'm watching the first round, and Severn he's landing big counters. It's just that Joe Joyce's chin is insane. He has a great chin, and he should. For a guy that doesn't have defense, and that's going to come forward like that. Even when you watch his old fight against Usyk, Usyk was tagging him all over the place. But the guy just keeps coming forward. He's non-stop. You can't stop the man. And if you can't knock him out, what are you going to do? Severn, in the shape and condition that he's in, he just doesn't have it to sustain that kind of punishment from a big guy, a big puncher like that. And he just doesn't have the conditioning to fight for that long. He's never been that guy. But even more so now because of the weight and condition that he's in. So, I'm watching the fight. Severn is landing the shots, but how many are you going to land, especially when a guy is pushing you backwards, He's not giving you the time that you normally have to land a really big, powerful shot. He's not giving you the space to do it. And he lost the way that I'm sure all of us predicted him to do. I mean, did anyone think Severn was going to win this fight? So, for Joe Joyce, he doesn't even have 10 professional fights. He's coming out really fast. And I already think that he's already capable of beating the majority of top heavyweights. Now, when I say top, I think he could beat some top 10 guys. There's some potential great fights to be made there. You got some other brawlers up there. You other guys, you got Chisora up there. You got Dillian White up there that can brawl it out. You got Konaki. You got him up there. You got Gerald Miller. Gerald Miller's another guy that has great conditioning. For a big man like that, he definitely doesn't hit as hard as Joe Joyce. But this is a guy that can fight for a long period of time, all right? He's fighting Joshua, but, whatever. I'm just throwing names out there. Some of these guys, Joe Joyce might possibly beat. And then, you know what? Believe it or not, I remember when he was calling out Ortiz. And to be honest, I never said this, but I don't know if that's a good fight for Ortiz right now. First of all, Ortiz is too close into getting another title shot, all right? So he probably wants any fight that can be made where it's going to give him a title shot or put him in position to have a title shot. He's there. He's not trying to fight a guy that's like 7-0 or whatever Joe Joyce is right now. His record is. I don't know. I didn't even check. I just know that I don't believe he's at 10 professional fights yet. But Ortiz. Problem with Ortiz is Ortiz can definitely box better. And he definitely hits hard. It's just that this guy has a great chin. And if you can't knock him out, what are you going to do? A guy that Ortiz is whatever age. People on here saying in the comments, I see people, the disrespect for, Luis Ortiz. And I'll be saying people, this guy's like 52. Nobody knows his real age and stuff. But Ortiz, very dangerous fight for him. Not saying that's a fight he can't win, but if he can't knock out Joe Joyce, I think that's a fight that I don't think he can win because you're going to get tired eventually. He got tired against Wilder, and he doesn't even bring in anywhere near close to level of pressure that this guy Joe Joyce brings. So Joyce is a real threat to anyone at heavyweight, a real threat. If he were to fight Wilder, I don't know if he can beat Wilder. I don't know if he can beat Joshua. I don't know if he can beat Tyson Fury. I definitely don't think he could beat Tyson Fury. But I think he's dangerous for any of these guys already. And it's not going to take him long he's already getting pretty close to being a title contender. You know, and the route that he's going and the pace that he's going right now, it's not going to take long for him to get there. You know, and I think he's already developing. Yeah, I might not like his style, but I think in this fight, I think he's improving a little bit with the hand speed. I've seen him look slower. I've seen him look extremely slower. All right. Not seeing much improvement with defense. I think he is getting a little quicker. Technique is technique. That's just subjective. You know, I don't really like this technique, but listen, he's doing what he has to do. And I think he's a real threat. In fact, I would even go as far as saying that I think he's more of a threat than Gerald Miller is. And I'm only bringing him because he's a pressure fighter. So I want to see more of him. Like I said, I want to see some of these potential great fights, these great wars that can possibly happen with the other bullies of the heavyweight division. But I think he's dangerous for anyone that can't knock him out. You know, I think Stavern, that would have been a good fight 5 years ago. I think Stavern would had a better chance of hurting this guy years ago. Okay, once he gets in there with someone that can actually hurt him, because anyone can hit him. Whether it's White, whether it's Ortiz, whether it's Joshua, Wilder, if one of these guys can actually hurt him and slow him down and make him not want to apply that same pressure, he's not going to be too good. He'll be easy to beat. But if these guys really can't hurt him, if he has some like iron chin, even at an elite level, elite puncher, because Stavern is not elite at this point in his career, if he can bring that same kind of energy against guys that hit hard and he can still move like that, he can possibly beat a real danger to anyone at the division. All right. So I'm gonna continue to check him out and make videos when he fights. I'm gonna definitely cover him because I think out of the pressure fighters up at heavyweight, he might be the most dangerous one. It's just that I think he also has the worst defense out of them all. The worst. All right, so I want to see where he goes. I want to see who else he, may possibly fight up there at heavyweight. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys subscribe. And I'm out of here. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.